Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining me. If you're new here, you've picked the perfect time to come aboard. I'm about to share a story that proves the universe has a plan for us, even when we've given up all hope. It's a story about redefining family, about unexpected heroes, and about how the very things we see as our greatest flaws can become our greatest strengths. So, get comfortable, and if this story touches your heart even half as much as it did mine, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more tales of hope and humanity. Now, let me take you to the deck of a mighty aircraft carrier, where our story truly begins. Admiral Eva Rostova stood at the prow of the USS Intrepid, the salt spray stinging her eyes, or perhaps it was the tears she refused to shed. Below her, a symphony of controlled chaos unfolded: sailors, jets, the raw power of a nation at sea. She commanded them all. Yet, in the echoing quiet of her stateroom, a single, starkly worded email from a civilian adoption agency felt like a torpedo amidships. After careful review of your application and medical history, we regret to inform you. Barren. It was such an archaic, cruel word. It spoke of empty fields and dust. It didn't matter that she had navigated fleets through treacherous straits or that her strategic mind was studied in war colleges. In the silent, personal war for a family, she had been deemed unfit for service. Eva had always had a plan. A military career, then a family. But life, and a severe case of endometriosis discovered in her late 20s, had other plans. Her marriage crumbled under the weight of the diagnosis. "I want a legacy, Eva," her husband had said, his bags already packed. Now, at 47, her legacy was steel and saltwater, and a loneliness so profound it ached in her bones. Meanwhile, in the same city, a man named Leo fought a different kind of battle. A former carpenter who had injured his back, he now worked as a night janitor at the Naval Bases Administration building to keep a roof over his family's head. His wife, the love of his life, had passed away from a sudden illness 2 years prior, leaving him with 4 children who were his entire world. There was Maya, 13, trying to be a little mother to her siblings, 10-year-old Liam, who hid his grief behind a fortress of books, mischievous 7-year-old Chloe, and Sam, the 4-year-old who still asked for his mommy at night. Their world was a cramped apartment, hand-me-down clothes, and a love so fierce it was almost tangible. Leo's dream wasn't for command or glory, it was for a full fridge, a quiet night's sleep, and to see his children's smiles reach their eyes again. Their worlds collided on a rain-lashed Tuesday. Eva, working late on personnel reports, spilled a full cup of coffee across a critical document. Frustrated, she went to find cleaning supplies and found Leo, on his hands and knees, patiently teaching little Sam how to properly wring out a mop. "No, buddy, like this. Twist it tight," Leo said, his voice a gentle rumble. The scene, so domestic and so out of place in the sterile corridor, struck Eva with a pang of something she couldn't name. Envy. Longing. "I'm so sorry about the mess," Eva said, her admiral's voice unusually soft. Leo looked up, his eyes kind and tired. "No trouble at all, ma'am. We've got it right, Sam." As Leo cleaned the spill with an efficient grace, Sam wandered over to Eva and, without a word, placed his small, sticky hand in hers. Eva looked down, her breath catching. No one touched the Admiral without permission. But this was different. A tentative friendship began in those late-night encounters. Eva would be there, wrestling with paperwork that felt meaningless. Leo would be there, ensuring the world was clean and orderly for the day to come. They started talking. About the children. About the sea. He didn't see a barren admiral, he saw a tired, lonely woman. She didn't see a struggling janitor, she saw a father of immense strength and devotion. One night, Leo brought the kids to the base's family movie night, as it was free and air-conditioned. Eva saw them from across the room, Maya trying to corral a wriggling Chloe, Liam lost in a novel, and Leo with a sleeping Sam draped over his shoulder. Her heart did not just ache, it yearned. Later, as they walked through the quiet parking lot, Leo said, "They're a handful, but they're my everything." "You're a lucky man," Eva whispered, the words tasting like ash. Leo stopped and looked at her, really looked at her. "It's not about luck, Eva. It's about love. And there's a lot of that to go around in my house. It's just a little short on hands." The idea, when it came, was so audacious it seemed insane. It was Leo who voiced it, over a shared thermos of coffee in her office. The agency was wrong, Eva, he said, his voice firm. They saw a single woman, an older mother, a demanding career. They didn't see your capacity to love. They didn't see your discipline, your loyalty, your incredible strength. He took a deep breath. I see it. My kids see it. Chloe drew a picture of you with a superhero cape last week. Eva laughed, a wet, choked sound. So, let's show them, Leo said, his eyes blazing with a conviction that rivaled her own in the command center. Let's show them that a family isn't made in a womb, Eva. It's built with hands, and heart, and a choice. Every single day. Marry me. Not for romance, not at first. But for a partnership. For a family. Let me choose you, and you choose us. The challenges were Everest-sized. The home study was intense and intrusive. The social worker raised eyebrows at their unconventional arrangement. Maya, protective of her father and siblings, was initially hostile, accusing Eva of trying to replace her mother. Liam retreated further into his books. There were moments of pure chaos, a disastrous dinner where Chloe put mashed potatoes in her hair, a panicked night when Sam had a high fever and Eva, used to directing billion-dollar assets, felt utterly helpless. But through it all, they chose. Eva chose to sit with Maya and share stories of her own mother, whom she'd lost young, building a bridge of shared loss. She chose to help Liam with a history project on naval warfare, earning a glimmer of respect. She chose to rock a feverish Sam, singing a low, off-key shanty until he fell asleep on her chest. And Leo chose her. He chose to defend their union to the skeptical social worker, his quiet dignity more powerful than any admiral's command. He chose to stand by her side at a formal naval ball, proud and steady, as she was honored for her service, his children beaming in the audience. The day the final adoption papers were signed, they didn't go to a fancy restaurant. They went to the beach. And as Eva stood at the water's edge, the same ocean she had dedicated her life to, she felt a small hand slip into hers. Then another, and another, until all 4 children were beside her, with Leo completing the circle, his arm around her waist. She was no longer Admiral Rostova, the barren woman. She was Mom. She was Eva. She was chosen. Sam looked up at her, the sea breeze ruffling his hair. Mommy Eva, he said, the title now natural, is the ocean your home? Eva looked at the vast, endless blue, then down at the 4 beautiful, chaotic, perfect faces looking back at her, and finally at Leo, whose love was no longer a proposal of convenience but the deepest truth of her life. She smiled, a real, unburdened smile that reached her soul. Not anymore, sweetheart. You are. This story, my friends, is a reminder that our value is never defined by what we lack, but by the love we are willing to give and receive. Family isn't always the one you're born into, often, it's the one you build, piece by piece, with courage and an open heart. If this message of hope and resilience resonated with you, if you believe in the power of choosing love, then do me a kindness, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this story with someone who needs to hear it. Because everyone deserves to be chosen. Thank you for watching.